Okay, number 1 in my top 5 horror movie is... Okay, now I know there are some people out there who's really gonna think I'm nuts. Who really think I'm out of my mind for loving this movie. But I don't care. I thought it was a fun, simple, old-fashioned, fun, entertaining roller coaster movie. Now, I know some people, 99% like it, and there's some 99% of people that do not like it. But come on, give this movie a break, okay? I thought it was just a very simple, old-fashioned, fun movie to go see. I really enjoyed this. Now, I know some of you are going to think I'm nuts. Snakes on a plane. Yeah, I know what some of you think. I know what some of you think right now. I know some of you think I'm nuts, but like I said, it was just a fun, entertaining movie, and it was really scary. There were some scary parts in that movie. Now, I can say I sort of had like a fear of snakes early in my life, but after seeing this movie, kind of helped me conquer that fear. I know it sounds crazy to you, but it kind of made me conquer that fear a little bit, because I'm not as frightened of snakes as I used to be. And there was some scary parts. I mean, when the snakes jumped out to like at the camera. There were some scary parts when the snakes were jumping at the camera. It would have been better if it was in 3D. That would have been cool if it was in 3D. I believe if it was in 3D, it would have done better business. So, but anyway, there was some scary scenes in that movie. There were some very scary scenes when the snakes jumped out at the screen and everything. I know some parts that the snakes didn't look realistic. There were some parts where they were actually real. They looked real. There were some scenes where the snakes were real and they were unreal. But come on, you know. This is what that movie reminded me of. It reminded me of those. I mean, this is not something new. A movie like this isn't something new. I mean, look at the Friday the 13th movies. Those had some cheesy, over the top scenes in them. See, that goes to say. Let me tell you, if Snakes on a Plane came out in the 1980s, I believe it would have done more money, and people would be worshiping it to death right now. You know, people would be on their fucking knees. That's what, when I went to go see the movie, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of those cheesy, fun movies of the 80s. Well, when it comes to a Friday the 13th movie, people still love those, despite the fact that they're over the top and cheesy. People adore the Friday the 13th movies with Jason and everything, but when it comes to Snakes on a Plane, all of a sudden it's another story. It's like, what? Snakes on a plane? Get the fuck out of here. But I thought it was fun. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Just give this movie a break, okay? I understand it's not perfect. Just give the movie a break. Why? I still watch it. I even own the fucking DVD, and I still watch it. I still find nothing wrong with it. Every time it comes on cable, I still watch it. I found really nothing wrong with it. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I found nothing wrong with it. I thought it was okay, you know. Hey, I'm not the only one to ask Rambo Raph. He owns the DVD. I believe me and Rambo Raph are the only two who really enjoyed this movie because it was just a fun, cheesy, entertaining roller coaster ride of a movie. That's all it was. I mean, what the fuck were you expecting? Snakes on Titanic? Yeah, but that would be a better movie, Snakes on Titanic. Snakes on Titanic, because I know a lot of people who dislike Titanic and like it. You know, I'm not saying I hate it, but I'm on the fence by it. I like Titanic. I like it, but I'm kind of like in the minority of it, you know. I'm kind of in the minority when it comes to Titanic, because I know the mixed rap Titanic has been getting over the years. But anyway, I'm going to talk about that in another video. But hey, so I'm going to talk about those. I'm going to talk about the Titanic and Snakes on a Plane in another video. I'm going to talk about those two movies in another video. So anyway, my top 5 movies are, once again, The Fly remake, The Thing, The Believers, American Werewolf in London, and Snakes on a Plane. Those are my top 5 when it comes to horror. Okay, now moving on to action. My top 5 favorite action movies. Now earlier in my Q&A, you guys already know what I feel about action movies. So you understand how I feel. So here's my top 5 action movies. The original Matrix. Number 4, Die Hard. Commando. The entire Rambo series, of course. And I already mentioned this earlier in my Q&A. And I like this movie along with its sequel, Escape from New York. So there you go. Okay, now on to my top 5 favorite karate movies. Okay, here we go. Bloodsport, Kickboxer. Now, a lot of people prefer Bloodsport, but don't get me wrong, I love Bloodsport, but I remember when it came to either Bloodsport or Kickboxer, I usually preferred Kickboxer because the last fight scene between Van Damme and the bad guy, it was more brutal than Bloodsport. You know, when they had to glue that glass on the hands and everything, it was so brutal than Bloodsport was. I'm not saying it's better than Bloodsport. I like them equally, but I remember enjoying Kickboxers the most. Okay, number 3. Into the Dragon, of course. Number 2. Of course, you cannot argue with this. The Karate Kid, of course. And my top favorite karate movie. A lot of people don't like this movie, but I liked it because Jet Li fighting himself, that's a dream come true. The One. Because Jet Li versus Jet Li, that's a dream come true. Then, you know? Jet Li versus Jet Li. Who would ever thought? Okay, now on to my top 5 favorite gangster movies. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is Casino. I love Casino. I don't care where I am, I would just sit down and watch it. With Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Sharon Stone, directed by Martin Scorsese. You can't argue with that. Casino rocks. I love Casino. Okay, number 4. New Jack City. I really enjoyed this movie because it was like, it was kind of like a modern day urban, much gritty urban version of both The Untouchables, and Scarface. And I thought it was a very very cool, fun cat and mouse cops and robbers movie. You know, and it had a very cool message to it because it really showed what was going on in urban New York with drugs and everything. It kind of showed a good message. It had a cool message to it about what the situation with drugs in urban streets is. A lot of people say Scarface had the same message.